Off. All right, welcome to today's masterclass. I am so stoked to have you zooming in from people from Perth, Victoria, Tasmania. Very, very cool. And hello to you as well, watching the replay or the recording. I know it's a bit tricky for everyone to get here at this time on a Tuesday, and that's totally fine too. So, if you're here, it's because you want to start your own food business, but maybe you're feeling stuck. Maybe the idea is really exciting, but you've got no idea where to begin. Or maybe you've been holding yourself back, filled with fear, uncertainty about making costly mistakes. Well, don't worry because you are in the right place. And now I would like to scroll along to the next slide, please. It's not going to let me do that. Here we go. All right. The cooking on gas. It's live. I'm zooming in live from Albany in Western Australia. I was up really early this morning, had a walk on the beach, had a swim, and now I'm quite tired. I think I might have a little nap this afternoon. But I am really pumped to be bringing this masterclass to you because it is a banger, a lot of information right in here. And by the end of this session, you are going to know the exact 5 steps you need to take to create your food business, how to avoid costly and stressful mistakes, and I'm going to show you 3 proven ways to launch your business with simple, easy to follow systems. You're also going to learn how to take your side hustle full time. I speak to a lot of people who start off slowly, build up, and then want to drop the day job. So I'll show you exactly how to do that and to avoid the common mistakes that trip up most new business owners. So I'll be your host today. I'm Helen Marshall, but you can call me H, please. I'd much prefer it. And I'm the founder of Primal Alternative. And for the past decade, I've helped aspiring food entrepreneurs just like you turn their passion into a profitable business. So I am super excited to guide you through these steps today. Now, as we go through, if any questions pop up into your head, just pop them in the chat and make sure you stick around to the end, my live lovelies, because I have got a door prize for one of you lucky live attendees. So before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Take a moment to chat with me in the chat group and tell me a bit about yourself, why you're here, and what excites you most about starting a food business. Now, I have had the immense privilege of chatting to over 1,000 women just like you who've dreamed of starting their own food business. And let me tell you, you're in good company. Most of the time, what I hear sounds something like this. You've got a passion for baking or cooking, and you want to turn it into something more than a hobby. You're tired of the corporate grind, sick of being underappreciated and overworked, and dream of running your own business from home. You want to create an extra income that fits around your family and lifestyle. Maybe friends and family have been raving about your food, and now you're wondering if it's time to start selling it. Or you've been thinking about starting a food business for a while, but just aren't sure where to begin or what steps to take. And for some of you, you're simply looking for a flexible, rewarding way to make money doing something you love. Any of those sound familiar? If so, you're in exactly the right place. And I'm here to show you that no matter, just let Rosa in, no matter where you are on this journey, whether you're just starting to dream or whether you've got products in your head already and you're just ready to dive in, you do have what it takes to make this happen. All right. So, as I said, feel free to chat with me as we go along, ask questions, share your thoughts, and let's make this as interactive as possible because that's more fun. So, the methods I'm going to outline have worked time and time again. So, you don't need to worry about whether you have what it takes to be successful. You don't need to stress over where you should begin, whether you've got the right sales and marketing skills, whether you can create a product people like enough to pay money for, because I already know you do have what it takes. All you need is a little guidance and support on your journey, and you'll be able to achieve your goals in no time. How exciting is that? That's very exciting. Starting your own business can feel really overwhelming, but you don't have to go it alone. In this masterclass, I'm here to help you turn your passion into a thriving business that fits around your life. And here's what you'll take away. You'll find out how to build a business that works around your family and lifestyle, giving you the freedom to set your own schedule and pop off for camping trips whenever you want, just like we did at the weekend. Earn doing what you love, so get paid for creating healthier, delicious food options for your community while following your passion. You'll get step-by-step business creation. I'll guide you through starting your own food business, showing you how to set it up for long-term success without burning out, and 3 paths to success. Whether it is going to be a step-by-step guide through Rise, or you're interested in the Fast Track to Food Business course, or whether you want to join the proven Primalista Bake from Home model, I'll show you how these 3 strategies work and can help you get started and grow. So in about an hour's time, you'll have the clarity and confidence to start building a flexible, successful food business that fits seamlessly into your life. All right, let's get started. The 5 steps to build your food business. So, as I've said, look, building your own successful food business is a daunting thought, right? And I'm not going to lie, at times it will be challenging. You'll need to roll up your sleeves and put in the hard work, but achieving success can be a lot more manageable when you break the process down into more smaller, bite-sized stages. So I've condensed everything you need to know into 5 easy to follow business creation steps. And here they are. Step number 1, get clear on what you want. It's absolutely vital if you're going to succeed in a micro food business. You'll need to map out exactly what success looks like for you, so you know where you're heading and how to get there without second guessing every decision, right? So ask yourself, what do you love? What foods bring you joy and fulfillment? What are you good at? What kitchen skills, techniques, or food knowledge do you already have? What does the world need? What problem resonates with you? Is it healthier snacks, gluten-free options, whatever it is? Something that resonates with you is key. And what can you be paid for? What problem can you solve that people would pay money for? And then we've got the practical considerations. Is it a low risk or a high risk food? So you can make low risk things like breads, cookies, pizza bases, and granola from home. And then your more higher risk foods like meat or liquid will require a commercial kitchen. So start with what you love and what people will buy regularly, and avoid time consuming or seasonal things like decorative cakes, which, very seasonal, takes a lot of time to make it look pretty. People don't want to spend that much money on it, and they might only buy once a year. And things like sourdough bread, wonderful, really low cost of goods, very high price you can pay it for, but it takes ages, kneading, proving, rising, looking after that little starter. Lots of things can go wrong. So a bit of an example is you can look at your family recipes. Can you make healthier versions of the products, like swapping out almond meal for the regular flour? You could test it with your friends and family, and especially for picky eaters, because they are the harshest of critics. My recipes came from a personal health journey. So after ditching grains and processed foods, I became a primal health coach, and I created recipes that people loved so much that I had to start selling them. And guess what? You'll see these delicious creations on the slides here. So that gives you a bit of an idea of the product range. So the other part of step number 1 is to think like a business owner. Even if it feels out of reach right now, it's about having direction and purpose. It's not about having every single thing figured out, right? So Instead of thinking like just like ourselves, and what will people think, and who am I to run a business, and what if I fail, and what if everyone laughs at me, and what if I don't have the time, money, and experience, right? That's very familiar. So give me just a hands up or a hell yeah if you've had any of those common limiting beliefs. And if you have, then congratulations, you're normal, right? It's fear is normal, but don't let that stop you, right? Feeling fear or self-doubt is super, super normal. So let's just be really clear on that. And it just means that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And that's where growth happens. So our brains see new challenges as a threat. But in reality, it's a sign that you're about to grow, experience new things, and make a bigger impact. So, what's holding you back? Have you ever felt like you're hitting a ceiling of what you think you deserve? That's called upper limiting. Doubts creep in really hard at this point. But remember, many of those limiting beliefs aren't even yours. They're just stuff that you've picked up over time. So, try and shift from a lack mindset to an abundance mindset. So, the primal belief that there's not enough to go around is outdated, right? Nature is abundant, and so are you. Start seeing that abundance in yourself and your business. So, what is your why? Take a moment to jot down why you want to do this. Is it freedom? Is it contributing to your family's income? Or is it following your passion? Or just a little excited feeling that you get when you think about doing this? That is always a good sign, too. Whatever it is, your why will keep you grounded when fear tries to creep in. And look, I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and fear and doubts and uncertainties are there every day. Every day. It does not go away. You don't hit a certain point of success or a certain monetary number and it all goes away. It's still there. It's just how it is. So you've just got to push on through. And you know what? There's no rush. You can build at your own pace. I'm always in a rush. I always think I'm always striving for the next thing, next thing, next thing. But really, this is, we're building lifestyle businesses to enjoy the freedom of being our own boss and having that time where we can, you know, allocate 4 or 5 hours to baking and then spend the time having a nap or going to the beach or sitting with a cuppa and watching the birds in the garden. There's no prize for rushing. Build a business at your own pace. What matters is creating something that works for you and that will grow over time. All right, step number 2. Look, we're racing through it. Building a brand that customers will love. So let's look at what you'll need to do to build a brand that gets noticed and remembered so you don't just feel like another face in the crowd. So, first up, you want your brand to be legit. So, there's some paperwork you'll need to take care of before you dive into the exciting bits. So, boring as this may be, this stuff only needs to be done once. And trust me when I say it will make you feel so much more confident stepping out into the food industry, knowing that you have got the right approvals and are covered. So you'll need to register your business. You'll need to apply for an Australian business number, which is an ABN. You might have heard it talked about like that. And it's a unique number that identifies your business to the government, as well as other people you do business with, like your suppliers. And without it, check this out, other businesses have to withhold 47% of payments to you for tax. That's messy. So make sure you get an ABN. Create a brand name and a look. Your brand name will promote recognition of your product in the community. So when customers see a product that features your brand, they're going to know what to expect. When building a brand, name and look, think of it as an evolving process. Don't stress about getting it perfect straight away. But to get started, focus on a few key things. Just let Julia in. Hello, Julia. So you want to define your brand's personality. So have a think about how you want your business to be perceived. Is it fun and vibrant? Is it earthy and natural? Is it elegant and high end? Your brand name and look should reflect that personality. Know your audience. Who are you trying to attract? Understanding your ideal customer will guide your decisions on things like your design, your colors, and your brand tone of voice. Keep it simple and memorable. A brand name should be easy to remember and to say. And when it comes to the logo and design, simplicity often stands out the most. So when it comes to branding, consistency is key. So you want to choose 2 to 3 main colors and a couple of fonts that will become your brand's signature look and use them across your packaging, website, and social media. Remember, your brand will evolve over time, so focus on getting started and refine it as you go. Since I've started my business, I've changed the name of the brand 3 times. First of all, it started off as Primal Soapbox because it was me ranting on about why we should return to plants and animals, the foods we evolved and thrived on. But then people thought I was selling soap. So that was a bit awkward. And then it changed to Primal Life, which is kind of boring. And then I was sitting one day with my graphic designer. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do for this business name. And this is an example of how things evolve and how not to get, hung up on the small details, because that is like the little details like this that really grind the brakes on people's businesses because they just can't get the name right or the logo right. It's crazy, right? But I was talking to my graphic designer, Rachel. She's still a great friend. And I was like, I just want to have a name, when people are Googling, what's the primal alternative for bread? What's the primal alternative for cookies? What's the primal alternative for wraps? And then we looked at each other. We're like, primal alternative. And isn't it just a great name? Like it does what it says on the tin. Have you heard that saying before? Remember that from the paint advert years and years ago? It does what it is exactly what it is. Whereas, if it was primal alternative earthly offerings, it'd be like, what? What's that? It's too complicated, right? So keep it simple. Okay. I think I've made my point there. Do you reckon? Yes, good. Okay. So you want to get your food business license if you want to produce from home. Your kitchen needs to be inspected by a local environmental health officer, and you'll need a food business registration before you start producing. So surfaces need to be sealed, ingredients need to be stored in rodent-free containers like plastic. And if you're making high-risk foods, you don't need to get a food business registration in your home kitchen, but you'll need to hire a commercial kitchen. And I suggest you look at cheap options like your local footy club, RSL, or CWA Hall and get some quotes. You want to organize insurance. So you'll be looking for product and public liability insurance, and it's vital for any food business because it will protect you in the small event that somebody is harmed by one of your products. For example, if they get sick after eating something you've made. Now, obviously, something like that, people never expect that to happen. And it's a tiny, tiny percentage of it happening. But you want to be covered in that unlikely event that it does happen. Now, which insurer you go with is a personal choice. I recommend doing an online search, comparing prices, speak to your present insurers, see if they can cover it, and really, compare the prices, see what's covered before taking out a policy. Oh, and don't forget about setting up your terms and conditions. It's a simple way to protect your business and to make sure your customers know what to expect when they're trading with you, when they're shopping on your website. And that really helps to build their trust and confidence in what you offer. And it also protects you so that if you get to a tricky situation, you don't have to be like, what do I do here? You just look back to your terms and conditions and it's already in there. Very cool. Very good for stress. On to step number 3, how to get happy repeat customers. Now, when I'm on these calls, these amazing calls with these amazing women who want to start their own food businesses, One of the things I say is, what's it going to look like in the future? Why do you want to start this business? And they always say to me, I want to have happy repeat customers. So you don't want to be wondering where your next order is coming from. You want to learn how to attract the right customers and keep them coming back for more, right? So how do you do that? Well, let's kick things off with an analogy, a little bit fun, and I reckon you can all relate to it. Are you ready? Okay, so imagine you're sitting down at two different restaurants, like not at the same time, obviously, on different times. And at the first restaurant, the waiter asks you what you're in the mood for, checks if you've got any dietary restrictions, just is that a preference or is it celiac, and even asks how much time you've got available to eat. They listen and they bring you exactly what you need, something that you enjoy that fits your schedule. Now, picture the second restaurant. The waiter doesn't ask you anything. Instead, they just plop down a dish and say, this is the best dish on our menu. The chef won awards for it. You should eat it. Doesn't happen, does it? Right. So let me ask you, which would you rather buy from? The waiter who listens to your needs and offers a solution, or the one who just tells you what they think is best? Exactly. When it comes to your business, your job is to be like the first waiter. Listen to your customers, understand what they need, and offer your product as a solution to their problem. That's how you build trust and get happy repeat customers. Now, let's get paid by making it easier for them. Um, So imagine you're still at those two restaurants, right? We're still playing that silly game. And the meal is over and it's time to pay the bill. At restaurant one, the waiter brings a simple, clear bill. It's obvious how to pay and you can settle up quickly without any issues. But at restaurant number two, the waiter disappears. And when they finally return, they give you a confusing bill. There's no clear way to pay. Do you go to the counter? Do they only take cash? So again, which would you prefer? A clear, easy, and seamless payment experience, or a confusing mess that makes paying a hassle? In your business, you want to make paying you as easy as possible. Have clear payment policies, send professional invoices, and follow up when needed. The smoother the process, the happier the customer, the faster you'll get paid. I can't tell you the number of people who send me invoices that don't even have a bank details on of where to actually pay the invoice. Crazy, right? Steps to getting happy repeat customers. So let's bring it all together. What do you need to do to get happy repeat customers? Imagine you're that attentive waiter again. Ask about their needs. Don't just serve. Just like you're the waiter who asks if you're gluten-free in a rush, listen to your customers. What problems do they have that your product solves? When you listen and offer the right solution, they'll keep coming back. You want to identify your ideal customers and stay consistent. Think about who you really want as your customers. What do they enjoy? Where do they hang out? And how are they likely to connect? If you're at a market, make it a point of showing up regularly so people can get to know you and your products. And then on social media, aim for consistent posts that reflect your brand and engage your audience. Don't forget to reach out to potential stockists regularly as well. Just like when you order your favorite dish, you want it to taste the same every time. Consistency in your approach will help you build a loyal customer base and keep them coming back for more. Follow up like a pro. Don't be the waiter who disappears after the meal. Check in with your customers after they buy. A simple thank you or a reminder that it's time to order again shows that you care, and it's what keeps them loyal. You can send them a quick SMS when it's a bake day and let them know if they want, and they can reorder. So many primalistas tell me that, oh, I don't want to hassle people, don't want to stalk people. But people have got massive to-do lists and, everything's done online these days. So to have like a local baker that they can get to know who actually, sends them a message and say, hey, it's bake day today. Do you want to order any goodies? They're like, oh, thank goodness. I was meant to order, but I just haven't had a chance. I'm so busy, right? We can all relate to that. Following up on any potential new stockists and ringing each week for your orders from your existing stockists is also key. I have a saying, the fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. All right. And finally, let's make sure you're actually getting paid. Have a clear payment process. Just like you prefer a clear bill at that restaurant, your customers need an easy way to pay you. Don't leave them guessing. Have clear invoices. Even just an invoice book from the post office is easy. Make sure you put your bank account details on there so they know where to pay to. Or even having a really seamless payment gateway like Square. They're so easy to set up. You can pick those up from Officeworks for like under $70. People can just click a button and pay you that way. So whatever works for you. Step number 4, how are we tracking? We're going good. We're going good. Making money without the guesswork. Oh, yes, please. So we want to make sure your business is making you money. It's a business, and a business without sales is just a hobby. So in this step, I'm going to show you how to understand your numbers once and for all with analysis tools that you do not need a maths degree to use. All right, hurrah. Okay. Making money without guesswork. So starting a micro food business is so exciting. But let's be real, right? You're in it to make money and not just to create delicious food. And guess what? It's totally okay to get paid for it. I'll say that again. It's okay to get paid for it. In fact, if you're not making money, it's a hobby, not a business. So here's the deal. Understanding your costs is key. You need to know exactly how much it costs to make each product, from ingredients to packaging, and then set your prices to cover those costs and give you a profit. This is known as your cost of goods. So your ingredients, packaging, labels, that will come under your cost of goods. And you'll need to factor in your conversion costs and determine your wholesale and retail markup percentages. So if you're selling to a shop, you'll need to add a margin so the shop can make money too, while still leaving you with a good profit. Making money isn't just about setting the right price. It's also about managing your money that you make from your business. So you need to keep an eye on your operating expenses and always make sure you pay yourself first. Don't fall into the trap of thinking hard work alone leads to wealth. It's about working smart, managing your income wisely, and setting a little aside, like 10 to 20% of your take-home income to invest in your future. Financial freedom doesn't come from effort alone, but from a solid money plan. So make sure you're pricing correctly, paying yourself first, what you deserve, and setting yourself up for success in the future by putting a little aside. Step number 5, work smarter and scale. Now you've got your food brand into the world. Yay! It's time to look at your system and implement some time-saving strategies and tools so you can streamline that business, automate tasks, grow your business without burning out, right? So you're going to get less stress and more results. So let's dive deeper into scaling your food business. It's not just about making more food and growing that way. It's about growing in a smart, sustainable way that's going to fit your life. So we've already covered the basics, such as simplifying by deleting, delegating, and automating tasks, which helps you avoid burnout. And of course, building a website will allow you to get sales while you sleep. And that is a great way to create consistent income without always being on. But when it comes to scaling, there are really so many options. You could consider using a commercial kitchen to increase production capacity or to meet a higher demand. Or you might want to hire family members or take on staff to do things like baking, packaging, or even sales and customer services. Another exciting way to scale is by franchising or licensing your business model. This can help you expand quickly by letting others replicate your success in new areas. It's a good idea, that one. You could also look at getting more stockists to carry your products or starting a farmer's market to connect directly with customers. Don't forget, there are plenty of ways to add new income streams. Maybe you want to teach cooking classes, sell complementary products, or offer pre-made meal kits, or do health coaching. As you run your business and as it grows, running meta ads can also help you bring in new customers, new leads, boost sales, letting you focus on doing what you do best, which is making great food. Ultimately, scaling isn't just about doing more, it's about doing things smarter. So your business grows without taking over your life. All right. So, how are we tracking? Is everyone still awake? There's some chitty chatties here in the chatty chatty. I love baking and feeding people, seeing a smile on their faces. I want to be able to work from home. I've wanted to do this for a while. Yes, Sarah. Jacqueline's studying functional nutrition. Is that with our darling Cindy? Let me know. I like the idea of starting my nutrition training business with offering clean products first. It's brilliant. It's so good. I was health coaching, and it's one thing telling people, "Oh, you need to eat this and this is why." But if you can just go, and here it is. Don't eat Tim Tams, eat these cookies. Don't eat that tip top white bread or the Helga's bread. Eat this paleo bread. It's much. They're like, oh, thank goodness. I can still have a pizza on a Friday night. I can do this. Love it. Love it. Love it. Lots of thumbs up. Awesome. That's true. People don't have time to make their food anymore. They do not. And it's a hassle, right? Don't get me wrong. I love cooking. I'm in the kitchen all the time. But the amount of times, like we make something, there's a mountain of pots. And I turn around and I say, I know why people get Uber Eats. I get it. And people that are more health focused, there's more people with allergies, and more people are realizing that gut health is the key to, is the root cause to most health issues, isn't it? And so people are wanting to get into that, away from nasties and into more real food, whole food alternatives, but they just don't have that time or inclination. And like, I will put my hand up and say that I buy primal alternative products. I know, because what? You do, but you've got the recipes. Like I have, right? And I make the cookies. But I find that pastry and the wraps, I just don't like making those as much, right? So I buy those from my local Primalista. And I love that. It's brilliant. And then I've always got those in the freezer. We took them away at the weekend. We had fajitas on the beach on a little camping trip. I just did a Instagram reel on that. I haven't done a reel for ages, but I did one today. So that's on Instagram if you want to check out what we did on the beach with our wraps. Yeah, and pastry. Oh, it's so good in like a lasagna. My son loves me when I make naan breads. He just loves me when I make naan breads. That's all. He doesn't love me the rest of the time. No, he does. Naan breads out of the grain-free pastry. It is delicious. I love all of our products. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Hey, Angie. Had a nice little turnout today. So glad you're all here. All right. So we'll keep cranking on. Uh, keep asking your questions and chatting away to me in the chat. So now we're going to look at what you must do if you want to grow your side hustle into a full-time business. Now, most people I speak to, we're sick of this hitting the ground running. Like, we're over that. We've done that. We hit the ground running and we're knackered. We've been on the ground running for too long. And we want to have something that's more of a side hustle that's going to support us. Let us have a nap in the afternoon. Let us have a little lie in the sun, whatever it is we want to do. Spend time with our family. Oh, all the things, right? I get it totally. That's how my life is. I created that by design. That's what I want. And starting off slow is such a nice way to do it. And a lot of people are easing out or moving into a kind of semi-retirement kind of vibe. They're easing out of a job that they've done for years, that are just not really vibing with that job anymore. And they want to ease out of it. but they don't want to cut off that income straight away. So most business coaches will say, you've heard the saying, don't give up your day job, right? Um, so it can be a really smart move to keep your job. If you can cut back days or cut back hours while you're building your side hustle, that can be really smart too. And then it's really smart to kind of set a point, either a day on the calendar and an age. I'm turning 50 this year. It's lots of time to review things, isn't it? Or a certain monetary amount that you're earning. Then when you decide, right, I'm gonna quit, I'm going to quit that job and I'm going to turn my side hustle into a full-time business. I hope I haven't preempted any of my slides by rattling on there, but let's get into it. So here's a quote by Forbes. A side hustle is more than just another stream of income. It's also the new job security. Now, this was a quote that I picked out during COVID times. Now, that was a bit of a hot mess, wasn't it? Those years, that was a bit crazy. Yeah. Who wants to be at the mercy of getting stood down during that time? So job security is key. And whether you're a mum who wants to earn some extra income in your free time, or someone with a full-time job that's looking for a career change or just a hobby that pays, having a side hustle is a great way to turn your love for real food into a living. And if you know what you're doing, you put in the hard work, something that starts as a side hustle could quickly transform into a full-time business that provides a better life for you and your family. Not only would it mean a successful business meant that you could get paid to do something you love most of the time, every day, but it would also enable you to be your own boss, choosing your own hours, deciding when you want to take a break, and never missing a social commitment or an opportunity. I'm just thinking about my husband, who's also self-employed in a bit more of a mainstream tradie job. He's not a baker. And the weather here is beautiful. And Thursday is going to be just Mintox boating weather. And so him and all his other self-employed mates are going out on the boat fishing. And, Mike says this all the time. If I had a boss, I had to ask for time off or give 2 weeks notice, it would be, you'd miss out on so many impromptu things with family and friends, right? Sod that. Growing a side hustle into a full-time business is certainly possible. It is possible, but it will take time and it will take hard work on your behalf. I'm not going to mince any words here. It does take time and it does take work. So there are two non-negotiable aspects of business that you really need to get right in order to accomplish that. And they are an in-demand product, right? Your product needs to be both high quality and in demand. If you want to have an idea of what you want to bake, try conducting some market research to ensure there is a strong demand for the product. And once you can be sure there is a market, you need to perfect your product so it stands out from the competition. Of course, one way to do this is to sell products from an already established brand that already works, such as Primal Alternative. So our products are healthy, delicious, and have already have an established market for a decade. In fact, 100% of primalistas say that there is definitely a market for primal alternative products. And I get emails and DMs and PMs every day saying, where can I buy your products near me? Or, somebody's moved and they're no longer baking and I can't live without your products, so that is good. And it's good. And, I think in the beginning of Primal Alternative, we were kind of a bit ahead of the bell curve. And then I kind of did worry along the lines, thinking, oh, maybe it's just a fad, that people are turning to real food alternatives, but it's not. It's definitely a growing market, and these products are in demand more than ever. And the second thing to focus is loyal customers. If you want a successful food business, loyal customers are the key to it, all right? And it's better to first focus on building up a strong base of regular customers rather than trying to sell as many products as you can, all right? That's important. So the more customers you can get who incorporate your product into their regular diet, the higher your chance of success. So repeat business will help provide steady sales even when the economy hits a rough patch. It's so true, right? People pay for what they value. Sometimes people look at our products and they think, oh, $16.95 for a loaf of bread. It's not bread. Bread is wheat and water and yeast. Our breads or loaves, we call them because they're not actually bread, are made with almond meal, zucchini, free range eggs, real high end ingredients. And our customers know that. They know that they're not comparing a loaf of bread from the supermarket to one of our loaves. And if they are, I know that, our biggest expense, because we value health and real food, our biggest expense is food. And when we need to cut, tighten our belt, we look for ways to reduce other areas, but we always prioritize food because we pay for what we value, and that's what people do. It's not about, the rich suburbs, they might not value their gut health. I always tell a story of Nicole, who is a local mum. When I used to have my primal alternative market at the Steiner School, which is very our demographic, there was about 100 footfall through that market, if that. And there was grass-fed meat being sold, spray-free veggies, sauerkraut, primal alternative goodies were among the stalls on offer. And we all did a killing every single week. And Nicole is a single mum. She's on Centrelink, but she sends her kids to Steiner School, drinks organic red wine, and has primal alternative pizza bases on a Friday night. All right. Did I read all of that one? Yeah, I did. Okay, so let's talk about how to choose the right baking equipment for your business, because a common mistake of not just bake from home business owners, but any business owner is they run out and they spend too much money up front on shiny new things, right? And I'm not saying you shouldn't invest some money. You want to make sure you've got an adequate setup, like absolutely. But it really is a smart idea to start small and have a lean startup and add more pieces as you go. And the truth is that if you have the right recipes, you can bake delicious cafe quality food from your own kitchen without needing top of the line equipment. All right. And it's a smart idea to start small and reduce your upfront costs. Another way to do it, yeah, another way to do it is to narrow down the variety of products you start with, right? Because that just means you're going to need fewer pieces of equipment, fewer different ingredients. It's really good if you can have similar ingredients in all of your products. And then if you want to, you can expand the range and buy more of the necessary tools as you go. So the exact equipment you need for your business will depend, right, on the type of food you want to sell. But to give you an idea, here is a list of equipment I recommend for our new primalistas and how much each item costs. So, as you can see, it's pretty straightforward: an apron and a hairnet, an oven, mixer, spatula, tins, trays, baking paper, right? Most of these things you're going to already have, right? Apart from the packaging, apart from the Food Standards Australia, New Zealand compliant labels and barcodes. But no matter where you're starting from, remember, you've got this. You don't need top of the line gear to succeed or make you more credible. You just need good recipes and a smart approach. And keeping it simple, start from there and grow from there. Does this all sound a bit overwhelming? Right, we've covered a lot. We've covered a lot. All right. Don't worry. We have covered a lot of ground, but you now know the exact 5 steps to create your food business. Get clear on what you want, create a brand customers will love. I've shown you how to get happy repeat customers and make money without guesswork, and how to work smarter, not harder. You've also learned how to grow your side hustle into a full-time business, pick the right equipment, and avoid the most common mistakes. And if you're feeling like it's a lot, I hear you. I get it, right? Starting a food business from scratch isn't easy. it can be overwhelming with all the moving parts, but don't worry. I have got three options depending on how you want to move forward. You can either DIY your way through it with everything you've learned today, or you can choose a proven model that does most of the heavy lifting for you. All right, what's going on here? I don't want that bit there. Hang on a minute. Maybe there. Why? I want that to go away. Okay, they're good. Whew. Had a little panic there. Okay, so I'm going to run through with you now two of the ways to launch your food business. So Fast Track to Food Business is new. It's something that I created last year, and it is a DIY route. And it's for you if you want to have full control. I'm just making sure. There we go. Yeah. What was I saying? Fast Track to Food Business. Yeah, if you want full control and flexibility to build your own food business from the ground up. So you'll be making your own products, setting your own prices, building your own brand, figuring out your compliance, and testing your market, all at your own pace. So with Fast Track to Food Business, you have lifetime access to the course. You'll also have the support of a vibrant Facebook community, which is teeny tiny right now, and my help along the way. Or if you'd rather hit the ground running with a done for you business model that's already been tried and tested for nearly a decade, the Primalista license is your best bet. You'll be part of a brand with endorsements from naturopaths, doctors, nutritionists, and partnerships with Quirky Cooking and Low Tox Life and Well Belly Health. Sorry, Elise. The branding, pricing, recipes, and compliance are all sorted. We even have a food safety program ready to present to the health department. So this way you can focus on what matters, growing your business with the peace of mind that everything is done right. So let's dive in a little bit more as to what you get in Fast Track to Food Business. So it really shows you how to turn your passion into an awesome food business. So the modules look like this. First of all, pretty much the same 5 steps that we've walked through today. I'll guide you to map out exactly what success looks like for you. So you know exactly where you're heading and how to get there without second guessing every decision. Then together we'll build a brand that gets you noticed and remembered so you don't just feel like another face in the crowd. And number 3, I'll guide you through how to get happy repeat customers. So no more wondering where your next order is coming from. You'll learn how to attract the right customers and keep them coming back for more. And in module 4, you'll be making money and making sure your business is making you money, understanding your numbers once and for all with analysis tools that you don't need a maths degree to use. And then in module 5, Work Smarter, we'll cover time-saving strategies and tools to streamline your business, automate tasks, which is going to help you grow without getting too knackered. And then for the Primalista license, this is what the Primalista journey looks like. So we can help you set up your business, give you the recipes, provide marketing and sales training and templates, and give you a list of suppliers and stockists to source ingredients and sell your products, which means you can enjoy a reliable, steady income, which could be incredible for your lifestyle and happiness overall. I've never had a Primalista fail to make a sale, and 75% of them achieved this milestone of having their first sale within their first month of being open for business. So that just gives you an idea of how quickly you could be up and running. And to give you an idea of what you can expect when you become a Primalista, I thought you might like to hear from them, a couple of them yourself, which I'm going to show you next. But the modules for the Primalista training is just 3 main modules over a 6-week period. And in the first module, we do all the boring paperwork stuff, getting you open for business. So I'll guide you to register your business, create your brand name, register as a food business, get your public and product liability insurance, and set you up with your email, web access, and community access. And we celebrate you being open for business with a post on Primal Alternative website and social media. We also do that when you first join up, so people know that you're coming in their area. And very often we get, oh, Sandra, I'm so excited you're starting in my area, and they can't wait to, you'll be getting orders before you've even opened for business. And then in the next module, getting equipped, we'll connect you with the best suppliers that we found so you can order your ingredients, packaging, labels, and equipment at a wholesale price with your ABN. And it's also a really cool time to start practicing the recipes, trying them out on your family, seeing which ones you like to make the most. In module 3, making sales and still being you. You don't need to turn into a sleazy car salesperson because we are all about selling really authentically. And as I mentioned before, by identifying a problem and providing a logical solution. So you'll get a complete plug and play marketing strategy, which includes scripts to read when you ring up the health food shop and you want to speak to the owner, but you don't know what to say. And also questions to ask when you go into the health food shop, such as, do you have customers who are looking for whole food, locally produced alternatives? Of course they do. Okay. So just things like that, and professionally produced customer and stockist brochures that are going to have all of the answers to any questions you get in there, such as who's this one for? How many carbs has that got? How much is that? What's the wholesale to retail markup? What's the shelf life? Everything is in there. So when you're learning the products, that's your best ally. We've also got professionally taken product photos, because how hard is it to get a good picture of food without it looking like a piece of poo on a plate? Like, unless you're Jo Whitten, she's really good at it, but I'm really bad at it. It just looks so terrible. So we've got over 500 professionally taken product photos. We've got professionally branded social media tiles with all the right colors and all the right fonts. So that when you start posting on social media, you look like you are a legit professional. We've even got testimonials that you can use as well, right from the start. And then that just means that you'll be enjoying the Primalista life, doing what you love from home, helping others and generating an income, being part of an awesome Primalista sisterhood. It really is the best. We had a coffee catch up last week. When I first thought of Primal Alternative and I wanted to create this sisterhood. I mean, I'm an only child. I don't even know what a sisterhood is, right? Or what a sister is. But I just knew I wanted this vibe where it was non-competitive. It wasn't bitchy. Everybody wanted to help each other and nobody was competing against each other. I've come from a corporate background where it really is dog eat dog. And in the Primalista sisterhood, it truly is there. Everybody wants to help each other. Everybody celebrates each other. And nobody undercuts each other. Nobody approaches each other's stockists. And it's awesome. And that's not a teeny tiny community. That's a big one. And it's got, nearly a decade's worth of chat and problem solving things that you can search anytime you're looking for an answer to a problem. You'll become an integral part of your local foodie community. Like, think of the people you deal with now in your everyday job. Like, I was having a chat with a wonderful potential Primalista who's here yesterday, and she was just telling me, the people that she deals with in her job, kind of low vibing, doesn't really enjoy dealing with them. Whereas when you're dealing with other people at the farmers market, people who are motivated to make healthy changes in their lifestyle, you meet some really cool friends. Like, I've made friends from those market days that are still friends now. We get together, we have curry clubs, everybody brings a dish. It's so cool. So think about not just the people you'll meet, but also opportunities. We had in our coffee catch up last week a new Primalista telling us how she went into approach. She'd lost her job, right? And she needed a job while she was setting up a business. And she went into a potential stockist and they said, yes, we'll stock Primal Alternative products. And would you like a job as well? So she didn't see that coming. So how cool is that? Just, the opportunities, amazing. Not to mention, over the years, we've flown around, been into expos, baked for really famous people, and just had a real fat time, basically. So you'll be growing, contributing, having new experiences, and really creating a freedom lifestyle that you love. Now, how exciting is that? All right, I'm going to show you this lovely video from Primalista Rosie, which kind of sums up everything I just said.
I'm Rosemary. I joined Primal Alternative more than 5.5 years ago. During that time, I've made Primal Alternative part of my lifestyle in a couple of different ways. I've worked on Primal Alternative several days per week and made up to $5,000 profit per month. I've more recently made Primal Alternative my secondary stream of income alongside another part-time job. I've really loved that Primal Alternative has allowed me to stay home doing something I love while allowing me to grow some skills in business and connecting me with a group of like-minded women, the rest of the Primal Alternative community, who are a majorly understated bonus of the Primal Alternative business model. Primal Alternative has provided me with a reliable and steady and flexible form of income, which has been incredible for my lifestyle and my happiness overall.
Oh, Rosie. Love that one. All right. And what about this one? Primalist Neroli. If you want to get a feel for a farmer's market and what it's like, then watch this.
We're at Kingsway Community Markets today, and I get to come here every fortnight because this is my side gig that I do. I'm also a teacher. This is my other great love. I love meeting new people. I love seeing people that I already know. It's just fantastic meeting people who can't eat certain foods and their face lights up saying, oh my goodness, I can eat everything here. I love it. It's a real buzz.
I purchased some of the Primal Alternative products. My favourite one is the low carb granola. I call it my happy food. It's the low carb granola. It's peanut butter, lots of nuts, lots of seeds. The low carb bit is really attractive, but the flavour's just awesome.
The day before my markets, I do all my baking, and it works beautifully. My kids are able to be picked up still. I'm able to spend time with them, and yeah, it just works really well.
I like it because it's all gluten-free, and I've been gluten-free for a long time, looking for an alternative that has other health benefits as well, and I know what I'm putting into my body doesn't contain refined sugars and those sorts of things as well, so it tastes amazing. People who eat gluten don't know or don't complain, let's say, because I always make sure that they know.
We have some allergies to almonds in my family, and if you actually go to most of the supermarkets and you have a look at the granola that's available, it might say berries and cranberries on the front packet, but if you turn it around and have a look, there's usually almonds in it, and unfortunately that's an allergy in our family. So as soon as I found one that didn't have almonds, I tried it, loved it, and now I won't turn back.
I stumbled upon Primal Alternatives, my way of eating. I've always lived the same way that Primal Alternative promotes, and I stumbled across it. I thought, where have you been? How have I not known about this? And as soon as I started looking into it, I thought, this is exactly me, and this is something I'm passionate about. I love baking, I love caring for other people, and being able to provide for them healthy things. So it was a no-brainer. I just had to do it.
Awesome. How good's that? Did you like that one? Oh, my cat's being friendly again. Come on, cat. Say hello to everyone. Hello. Okay, go now. Oh, you see, you can have pets as well, in case you're wondering, as long as they don't climb on the bench tops, like this naughty girl. Oh my goodness. Oh, right, you just say that. Okay, so I have got dozens of other success stories from other Primalistas, which you can check out on the website, but you get the point. These women were really trying to struggle with a cat that wanted to walk all over the keyboard. No, they were in a similar position to where you are now. It's live. Don't work with children or animals. That's what they say. They were where you are now. They wanted to start their own business, but they weren't sure exactly how to go about it. They found Primal Alternative. They fell in love with the yummy, healthy recipes and the simple, proven approach to building a successful baking business. And now they earn money baking nutrient-dense foods from their own kitchens. How cool is that? Now, let's talk about the most common mistakes that new business owners make. We talked a little bit about, keeping a lean startup, but this is a really big one, right? So sadly, too many new business owners fail to perform their due diligence and they quickly run into trouble. In fact, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, more than 60% of any new business owner shuts up shop within the first 3 years, right? So what are the most common mistakes a new business owner makes, and how can you avoid them so that your business doesn't end up on the scrap heap? So let's take a look at those so you can steer clear of those costly errors and keep yourself on the path for success. Going it alone. So many new business owners don't seek the help they need when they're starting out. Instead, they try and cover every area of business expertise themselves, and this can lead to expensive mistakes, which can ultimately cost them their dream. Finding other people who can offer guidance and advice will help you enormously when you start a business. And that's why I provide so many resources for new primalistas: delicious recipes, baking demonstration videos, supplier and stockist information, marketing templates, sales training, even one-on-one coaching sessions. So it means you're never alone when you're starting out, and you can steer clear of mistakes and implement proven strategies to help you grow your business. The second one is failing to plan, and I touched on it in step one, but it's really important because it can save you a lot of trouble down the line. It's far more difficult and costly to make big changes to your business 6 months after you've registered it. So come up with a clear plan for your business before you register, including what you intend to make, who your target market is, and the number of hours you want to put in and what your budget is. A thorough business plan can help you avoid any nasty surprises and forge a clearer path to success. Primalistas get access to a great resource called My Business Blueprint, which is an 18-page PDF to walk you through your own business plan. Before I make offers to new primalistas, we always do our due diligence with regards to planning. We examine your time available, how much you want to earn, and we even check there are enough potential stockists for you in your area. Pricing your products is the third big mistake, and this is especially common for bake from home businesses, and it's understandable because it's such a tricky subject. Pricing your products too high is going to scare away potential customers, and pricing them too low could see you losing money instead of turning a profit. And it was one of the biggest mistakes I made when I first started out. And pricing is really personal. And as health advocates, we sometimes feel guilty about charging for doing something that we love. In fact, I see many foodies start and quickly exit the food business because they don't charge enough, or they don't understand their right cost of goods sold equation to nail their pricing. It can be very tricky to know exactly what price to set, and that's why I've consulted with costing specialists and tested the market for over 10 years to get the pricing right. And even with rising ingredients costs, I'm always keeping an eye on those prices to make sure we can charge the customer the lowest amount possible and still turn a profit. And that means I can give each new primalista pricing guidelines, and it enables them to set the optimal price for each product so that they maximize their profits. So now that you know the options, it's decision time. Do you want the flexibility and control of building your own business from scratch with Fast Track? Or would you rather have the support, security, and proven results of the Primalista license? There is a third option, which is Rise, which is just a generic business course which will guide you through the same things, but it won't be so focused on food business. So it really depends on what level of support you want and what your budget is. So yeah, whatever you choose, both of these options will get you to your goal of a thriving food business. You just need to decide how you want to get there. So if you wanted to compare the pair, we've got Fast Track and the Primalista license. So with Fast Track, you create your own unique brand, recipes, packaging, and pricing and compliance. On the Primalista license, you leverage an already established brand. The recipes, packaging, pricing, compliance, done. Fast Track to Food Business, you learn at your own pace. You've got lifetime access and Facebook group for peer support. And with the Primalista license, step-by-step guidance, lifetime support, Facebook group, and support from me. In Fast Track, you have the freedom to customize and create your own vision. In the Primalista license, you have a ready-made system for ease and faster startup and the option to add your own products. Now, when you do get a Primalista license, you also get Fast Track to Food Business for free. So if you want to get up and running now with something that's, less effort and with done-for-you systems, but thinking maybe down the track, oh, I'd love to bring in some of my own products, then you can. So with Fast Track, it is more DIY, so there is more effort required, but there's more flexibility. And with the Primalista license, there's less effort with the done-for-you system. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You still can add your own products in with the Primalista license. You don't have to just only do primal alternative products. So obviously that it relates in the price. So with Fast Track, it's a lower initial cost, no ongoing monthly membership, but more setup work required from you. And with the Primalista license, it's a higher initial cost, but a really comprehensive setup. So, Fast Track to Food Business, if you want to explore more and you want to launch your dream food business in 5 weeks, even if you've never sold a single thing, and turn your passion into profit with hands-on guidance and a step-by-step plan, head to primalalternative.com/fast and enroll now. So the two options here, oh, let's just delete that from the slide. That's when I first launched this in October last year. So that 72-hour first in bonus is not available. So I'll just be really clear on that. But there are two options. So this is really doable. It's an upfront payment of $2,497. If you pay that up front, you save $491. Or if you'd rather pace it out, there is a 12-month payment plan. So you can pay $249 a month for 12 months. And if you're thinking of becoming a Primalista and you want to gain all the recipes, tools, and techniques for success, then I would love you to join us here too. And usually the best way to figure out what's right for you is to book a call with me, if you like, just to kind of get a bit of an insight into what you want and what you're looking for and what you think is going to work best for you. So you can book a call with me at primalalternative.com/call. And if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then go ahead and book a call. But here's just a fraction of what you get as a Primalista. Oh, those brownies are making me hungry. So you'll get the license to sell a much-loved brand and product. So the Primal Alternative brand is loved and respected by industry leaders and influencers alike, which gives you an established market to sell to straight away. You'll get access to a supportive community of like-minded Primalistas. 97% of Primalistas say the community is non-competitive, super supportive, with everyone dedicated to helping each other succeed. You'll have full support setting up your freedom-based business. We'll help you with your registration, connect you with suppliers, provide sales training, and everything you need to grow a super successful business. You'll get simple video recipes for delicious food that people love. You'll be baking amazing healthy breads, pizza bases, pastry, cookies, granola, and more. And 96% of Primalistas say the recipes are super easy to follow. Just think, measure, mix, and bake. There's no kneading, proving, or rising. And you get a complete marketing strategy to grow your business. You'll receive comprehensive marketing training, techniques, and templates that you can use to attract a crowd of new customers and rapidly grow your fabulous business. All right. Okay, so how much is the Primalista license? Well, there's two payments for the Primalista license. One is the license itself, which is in exchange for the business model, all the intellectual property, the recipes, all of that. And you can pay that in one payment of $5,497 upfront and save $500. You can chunk it down and get it out the way with 4 monthly payments of $1,499. Or you can go for the most flexible option, which is $497 a month for 12 months. There's also an ongoing monthly membership fee of $130. So that's instead of a royalty. Okay. So instead of having to work out a royalty in every single thing that you sell, you just keep everything that you sell, and you just have that ongoing $130 a month. So for some perspective, in the first year, it's just over $20 a day, and then just $4 a day after that. Let's hear from Primalista Cat, and then we are going to wrap it up, and I'll let you know who our amazing door prize winner is and answer any final questions that you've added there in the chat. But before we hear from my Primalista, this is Primalista Cat, who makes my pastry and my wraps. This is shot in Denmark, which is where I live in Western Australia. And love Cat to bits. She's great. So let's just have a recap of what we've covered today. Step 1 was all about getting clear on what you want from your business. Then in step 2, we talked about how to build a brand that customers will love. In step 3, we dived into ways to keep those customers happy and coming back for more. Step 4 was about how to make money without the guesswork. And in step 5, we went over how to scale smarter and with ease. Plus, I've showed you what's possible if you're ready to turn that side hustle into a full-time gig, how to choose the right tools and equipment, and most importantly, how to avoid those 3 common pitfalls that many new business owners face. So if you're ready to take the step forward, check out the links I'm gonna share with you, or if you're watching the replay, the buttons below this video, and choose what feels the right option or the right next step for you. And I'll leave you with this vision of what it feels like to supply your community with truly handmade, amazing products. Like, imagine that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to jump in. I'll leave you with Kat, and then we'll do the door prize.
In my search to support my family's health holistically, Primal Alternative just popped up. It was pretty magic. There it is. I've been looking for that. It just fits into our life perfectly, supports our family's health. My bake day consists of dropping the kids off at school, coming home and having a break, because you need a break after school drop off, and just jumping straight into it. And I'll be just going all day until pick-up time, then finish up after that. It just suits me perfectly.
It's challenging working away, eating healthy at the best of times, so by taking some Primal Alternative, I can eat healthy food that's really tasty as well.
We've been supplying this IGA for 6 years, and always pleasant to deal with and very consistent with putting in orders.
I run a pre-ordered food box business supplying the community with locally grown produce. I first discovered it in a market in Perth. Just fell in love with the products, really. I thought it was an amazing business. I didn't realise there were different Primalistas until I moved down to Denmark. I asked if I could start supplying their products. I love eating healthy. That's definitely a high value for me. I feel really good when I eat them, and then meeting the people that bake them, that's another really nice part about it. You're meeting the baker, and it's like you're really having home cooked food that's really nice for you.
I actually discovered it online through a patient had recommended that I should find out about the products because she used them herself. I love that it's a chance to have a really beautiful, healthy product available at home. I'm a mum and a busy business owner, and often the types of foods that I do want to feed myself and my family, I'm not always available, and I can't have the time to cook it always myself. So to know that they're being prepared by someone in their kitchen with love and care and made locally means that I get access to those products and can have something on hand that tastes great and serves the purpose of being healthy. So I've recommended them to patients in the past and they've really enjoyed the products. It's great for women who have gut health issues or metabolic concerns, and it's a really great way to have a grain-free, paleo-friendly alternative at home that they can enjoy.
Being a local, you come across the best that a town has to offer. There's a big demand, so as a business you have to fulfill it, and do what we can to work for that niche. It's a really good product, and it's made locally, which is these days is really hard to come across. When you know the person who makes it, it's a different relationship you have with the product, and it just feels good and it tastes good. It's awesome. It's really good for you as well. So yeah, it's amazing. It's a good thing for a business to have, because sometimes families don't go out for dinner because of dietary requirements, but here we are able to cater for everyone.
I love Massimo. He's a G. All right, y'all. So I am going to take questions. I might just stop this screen share. How do I do that? Stop share. Aha. All right. Stop the share. Get rid of that. Off there. All right. Okay. So I've got some chats. Oh, you can see my hair's a bit messy now and a bit bigger. Okay. Okay. Going to lunch. Roz is going to lunch. That's cool. Jacqueline hates dishes. Talking about eggs, has there been an issue with getting them, or could you use an egg alternative? No, we will need to use eggs. That we've had over the years, and this is the great thing about having a business for over the last 10 years. We've had all sorts of things happen, including the COVID. But we've had, zucchini shortages, egg shortages, the cost of chocolate's gone through the roof, all of these sorts of things. And what we tend to notice is it's a very short blip. So egg prices might go up for a little period of time, or eggs might be in short demand. We do have products that are completely egg-free. So if you would rather just focus on those for that short period of time, you can do that, because you can bake what you want as a Primalista, which is really cool. But yeah, we find that these things are usually quite fleeting and quite passing. So can we use our own eggs? Absolutely. Wouldn't you rather use your own eggs than the ones at Coles and Woolies? Sometimes environmental health officers will say that you need to have an egg license to use your own eggs. So yeah, you get them from the supermarket. All right. Sometimes you just got to use a little bit of common sense, We've got an egg shortage in our own house at the moment because, I don't know, something's getting in. We had so many eggs. Doesn't it happen like that? If anyone's got chucks, you have so many eggs. You're making quiches left, right, and centre and handing them out to neighbours, and then somebody, I think there's a rat down there or something that's cracking them all. Very annoying. Very annoying. But luckily, my friend's going to give me some eggs, which is really cool. So any final questions, let me know. I'm going to choose the amazing... I'm going to choose, show me the list. I'm going to randomly jump on a person. It is Roz. Roz is our lucky door winner. How cool's that? Congratulations, Roz. All right. What I would love you to do, Roz. No way. Yeah. It's not often you win things, is it? It's fun. What I'd love you to do, Roz, is if you could email me with your home address and your phone number and your email. And that's, well, I'll already have your email. So just your home address and your number. And that's so that the Primalista who's going to bake for you can get in contact and let you know if they're going to deliver or whether they're going to post it to you and, tracking numbers and all that kind of thing. So congratulations. Any more questions before we go? I'm just going to pop the links in here. So the first obvious one is book a call, right? Have a chat with me. But if you want to join Fast Track, there's the link. If you want to research more about the Primalista license, there's the link. You can just join on that page if you're like, I've seen everything I need to know. I've read all your emails. It's pretty straightforward. You can just join on the Primalista license page. You don't have to have a call, but most people do. I think I've had one person join without a call over the years. So yeah, I think that brings us to the end. Thank you so much for being here and watching. Did you enjoy that? Did you learn something? What was your biggest takeaway? Did I miss any questions? Oh, Jackie, did you tell me that if it's with Cindy, you do your functional nutrition course with? But it is. Good old Cindy. Love Cindy. She's like a big sister. She's so helpful. Lovely friend. Right, everyone's quiet, so I guess everyone has had their questions answered. I hope to see your name pop up in my calendar. Let's have a yarn. Let's talk about you and what you want and how you want to get there and what it's like where you live and all of those things. And on the call as well, we can go through exactly how many hours it takes to make X amount to get to certain da-da-da. That we can sell our own stuff as a prime lister is also great. Absolutely. It is really great. So what most prime listers do is if they have if you have a farmer's market and you say you want to take another cake along, then you don't need to worry about labels and packaging and nutrition information panels and all of that. You can sell things unpackaged at a market, which is really cool. But if you do want, help to get things a little bit more retail ready and get you into those stores, then using the tools on Fast Track to Food Business will get you all of that. And like I said before, when you become a Prima lister, you get Fast Track to Food Business for free. In fact, you get access to everything. That's the ultimate, you get the Thrive 21-day clean living challenge, the 7 days to grain free. You get a lot of extra bonuses when you come on board. And if you want to do your own stuff first, you can do Fast Track to Food Business, and then you can upgrade to a Prima Lister license and just pay the difference down the track if that's something that you want to do as well. But to be honest, most people want to go for the ready-made business model. That's really what I'm seeing people want versus figuring it all out for themselves. Are the customers only retail? So there's two ways you can sell. So one would be, if they are private sales, how does that work for deliveries? Private sales. All right, got you. So you have two types of customers. One is retail, so selling to a wholesaler at a wholesale price. So that would be like your spas, your IGAs, health food shops, places like that, Massimo's Pizza. Isn't Massimo cool? When I first started doing Primal Alternative, he contacted me. Imagine taking pizza bases to an Italian pizza maker. I was very nervous. But that was 10 years ago, and they're on the menu. How cool's that? So cool. And that means we can have a pizza night. We can go there, the family can get what they want, and I can get a grain-free one. They sell heaps of them. It's really, really cool. Yay! So we would sell it to him at a wholesale price, and then selling direct to the consumer or to the person who eats it, you would sell at the retail price. So with private sales, you will deliver, or they can come and pick up from somewhere. It is a little bit more. When I first started, I just hid behind Facebook. I was like, I don't go to markets and I don't look the part and all these other things. I'm too fat and all the silly things we say to ourselves. I don't have any experience in the food industry. You just got to do it and poo your pants anyway. And I just hid behind Facebook, and I'd go out and do like $20 orders here and there. And it was a lot more legwork. It's a lot more like, when you sell things on Marketplace, you get backwards and forwards, and there's a bit of that, but it's good because you're selling at a higher price. And then when you're selling into the shops, you're selling at a lower price, but they're just putting an order in and they're saying, we want this, this, and this. You just bake to order and you drop it off and they sell it. So that's why it's really good to have a portfolio of a customer base that's a little bit of both, which is really cool. And another place that, Angie just booked a call. Yay, Angie. For today. Woohoo. Another really cool place to think of to sell that sometimes, people don't think of is places where there's just a body of people who are time poor, like the naturopath was saying on the video we just watched. They're busy running businesses, they've got kids, they don't have time to do everything themselves from scratch. So places like your shire offices, your schools. So I used to pop into the schools on Friday afternoon on the way to my Steiner market, dropping things off at the high school, at the primary school. And a really good way to get into those sorts of businesses, if you're near a CBD, anything like that, where there's offices, maybe even where you even work, there'd be lots of people who would love to buy your products and even to support you, but not like in a kind of like spam your friends and family, MLM, um, party plan. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But this is not that kind of vibe. You won't need to rely just on them, but they will want to buy from you anyway, which is really, really cool. Like, one of the primalistas was saying in the coffee catch up last week that just going in with that whole food, no nasties, no preservatives, locally made, really, who do you know that doesn't want to eat like that? Like, majority of people are heading that way. Yeah. I could talk to you all day, but I guess I better let you go. It's been an hour and a half, so I appreciate your time. Thanks for those of you watching the recording. Mwah. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, y'all.